Welcome, fellow lovers of the weird and strange. This is Lance, your host of Legends of the Hidden Horde, where we explore the folklore behind the mythical creatures that stalk the dark corners of our globe. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in. Your ears make these strange journeys possible. If you enjoy the show, please hit that subscribe button, leave me a quick review, and give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, or X. Your support truly makes a difference. Now, let's dive into the next story. In the low, fog-shrouded lands of Flanders, where ancient rivers like the Dondra and Scheldt wind through fields and woods, the night holds secrets older than the cathedrals. Here in the oral traditions of the Flemish people, passed down through generations in farmhouses and along lonely paths, lives the Kludde, a shape-shifting spirit of torment and trickery. This is episode 36, where we once again take a ride to Belgium. So hop in, and let's go. The Kludde is not a creature of distant myth, but a figure rooted in the lived fears and warnings of local communities, a guardian of boundaries between safety and peril, light and shadow, the known path and the treacherous unknown. Folklore such as Isidore Teirlinck and collectors like Paul de Mont and Alphonse de Cock preserved these tales from the 19th century onward, drawing from the voices of rural storytellers who used them to caution against traveling alone at night, straying near water, or succumbing to pride or isolation. The Kludde embodies the restless spirit of the misty lowlands. It emerges only after dark, when mists rise from the rivers and fields, cloaking the world in ambiguity. Its approach is heralded not by sight, but by sound, the ominous rattle of a heavy chain, often bound to its ankle or neck, and in its haunting cry of Kludde, Kludde, as it flees or taunts. Two dancing blue flames flickering like will-o-wisps always precede it. These are said to be its true eyes, granting unnatural sight and total darkness. Its forms are as fluid as the fog itself, a perfect Proteus of folklore. In its most common guise, it appears as a monstrous black dog, sometimes walking upright on hind legs like a twisted werewolf, with coarse fur, bear-like claws, and occasionally rudimentary bat-like wings. The chain drags and clanks behind it. It leaps suddenly onto a traveler's back or neck, growing heavier with every step, forcing the victim to carry it through the night until dawn or safe haven forces it to vanish, often leaving the person collapsed in exhaustion or mud. Other variations exist across regions and tellings. In some accounts from East Flanders and around Dendermonde, it manifests as a half-starved, emaciated horse. Grooms or travelers mistake it for their own mount in the dark. Once mounted, it gallops wildly towards the nearest river or marsh, hurling its rider into the water before dissolving into mocking laughter from the shallows. The victim emerges cold, wet, and wiser, or drowned in rarer, darker versions. In other tales, particularly near woods or isolated paths in Brabant, the Kludde takes the form of a small, delicate sapling or tree. It begins innocently enough, but rapidly grows to impossible heights, its branches lost in the clouds, uprooting or toppling nearby trees and throwing the landscape into confusion. Travelers become disoriented, lost in their own familiar countryside until the vision fades. Further variations include a sleek black cat with powerful claws that lures the compassionate or curious close before striking, a giant blackbird or raven that circles farms at night, waking sleepers with its relentless cry, a frog, bat, sheep, or even distorted human figure. In some traditions around Oosten, it blends with water spirits, necker or waterklede, lurking near bridges, under hollow trees, or by ponds where it drinks the stagnant green water. It avoids crosses, consecrated ground, and sometimes those who carry faith or protective items. Origins in the stories are shadowy and varied. Edge cases themselves. Some link it to restless spirits of executed witches or werewolves whose dark magic lingered after their bodies were destroyed, manifesting as this protean tormentor. Others tie it to pacts with darker forces or as local manifestation of broader Germanic tricksters or bogey traditions. It is rarely purely murderous. Its pranks often serve as harsh lessons or warnings, though prolonged torment can lead to real harm through exhaustion, drowning, or madness from fear. In one recorded variant, a victim who recognized the blue flames and invoked protection saw the creature shrink and flee, crying its name. Consider the tale of a young drover from the outskirts of Mercham in the early 19th century, as echoes of such stories survive in collections. Returning late from market along a fog-choked path beside the Dondra, he first heard the chains rattle and the distant cry. A small black dog appeared ahead, his eyes 2 points of eerie blue light. As he quickened his pace, the dog grew, leaping onto his shoulders with unnatural weight. The chain dragged. The creature's form shifted in the corner of his eye. Now horse-like, now tree branches clawing at the mist. It urged him towards the dark water. Only by veering sharply toward a wayside cross and whispering prayers passed down from his grandmother did the weight lessen. At dawn, he found himself on the bank, soaked, but alive, the chain's echo fading like a warning remembered. Such encounters reinforce community bonds. Stories shared around hearths taught vigilance, the value of not traveling alone, respect for the land's hidden dangers, rivers that flood, mists that disorient, and the power of collective memory and simple protections. The Kludde was never an invader from afar, but a reflection of the Flemish people's own landscape and history. The uncertainties of rural life, the perils of isolation, the mundane and the supernatural in a world of oral tradition. The Kludde, in its endless shape-shifting and relentless pursuits, reveals the fluid, deceptive nature of fear itself, and the boundaries we draw between safety and the wild unknown. It teaches us the peril of straying from the path, whether a literal road through misty fields or the moral and communal paths of discernment, humility, and connection. Its chains bind not only the creature, but symbolizes how unchecked curiosity, pride, and isolation can weigh us down until we are cast into deeper waters. Yet its mischievous edge cases remind us that not all encounters with the unknown are fatal. Recognition, community wisdom, and rooted protections, faith, stories, vigilance, can lose its grip. In a world of shifting realities, digital illusions, climate-driven mists, identity fluidity, and misinformation that leaps onto our backs and grows heavier, the Kludde endures as a timeless mirror. Future implications urge us to preserve living cultural traditions like these Flemish tales, fostering critical awareness and collective resilience, so that we do not become lost in our own fogs. By honoring such heritage respectfully, we carry forward lessons in navigating ambiguity without surrendering to it, turning ancient warnings into guides for a more grounded tomorrow. That's it for today's story. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast app and give me a follow on social media. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.